Heller.
Madam Chairwoman, thank you, and to the ranking member for holding this hearing, especially on tax day. I think it makes it a little appropriate. I want to thank our witnesses also for taking time and being here today and sharing your experiences and your stories. Ranking Member McCaskill and myself are no strangers to marketplace scams. We serve together, she as chairwoman and I as ranking member for the subcommittee on the Commerce Committee dealing with consumer protection. So we've heard a lot of this and have worked together trying to get to the bottom of some of these things. The chart that Senator Tillis had talked about the different states. Nevada lost nearly $300,000 recently to IRS impersonations, and they said they had 58 cases. And my concern is this: we have 58 cases. For every time your self-doctor comes forward and shares what you have done and goes to the authorities, there are numerous people that do not. You know, the 58 cases in Nevada are probably multiples of those kind of numbers, and I fear and don't, like I said, don't feel alone in this. This is pretty large scale. Now, just within the last couple of months, both my father and my daughter were affected by similar situations, not specifically like yours, but fortunately they stopped it before it got too far. But you know, they're shopping. I guess my question, doctor, is do you think they were trolling, or do you think they were looking for you specifically in your case?
I can only guess. It appears that, keep in mind, this was 6 months ago, almost 6 months ago now, and it appeared they were a bit more specific then. But as the word got out, it's just my hunch that more and more people were willing to hang up and not follow through, and it required them making more calls, maybe less scrutinized. And I have received, because of the press conferences and the CBS coverage and some other networks, I have received letters and emails from people all over the country. And for them, the trigger for them was the Green Dot Visa card. When the scammer started talking about Green Dot, then they remembered the article or the news broadcast, and for some reason that woke them up to the fact that this was a scam. I really think now they're just calling indiscriminately. Okay. It's just a ramped up number trying to get their business back up.
The reason I asked that question is if I were looking through the phone book for someone that was awfully trusting, I think a senior pastor may meet that qualification. Do you know of others that are in the same field as yourself that have had similar issues, problems, questions, phone calls, concerns?
After I came forward publicly and it was covered in the paper, there have been several local ministers who said to me they had gotten the same call since that article and knew to hang up.
I would anticipate that they'd think you were pretty trusting individuals of your fellow human beings.
Public image is pretty important.
Yeah, and that makes sense also. You know, I regulated the securities industry in Nevada for 12 years and did all the research, background checks for all the securities fraud that was occurring in the state at that time. And some of the stories are horrifying of individuals who have a retirement account, they're in their 60s, 70s, and even 80s, losing this kind of money to similar types of scams. And the most difficult part is the restitution portion of it. Detective Moore, you talk about it. What's your experience? What's been your experience in restitution, the ability to get somebody's money back in similar cases like the doctors?
Pretty much non-existent. This is the only case I can think of where I was able to recover money.
Okay. Hey, give me some background, Detective. How many cases have you had that are similar to this? You've been doing this, what, since 2006?
Yeah, as a detective, yes.
Okay.
But at patrol level, they handle the same calls, and if they reach a level where they can no longer handle it, it gets passed on, or if it's a certain larger scale.
Can you give me some kind of an idea how many cases like this you've dealt with?
Personally, I can't come up with a hard and fast number.
That's fine. That's fine.
Probably just a handful.
But in your office, I assume there's multiple detectives.
Well, yeah, and I would say we probably get at least one a month.
One a month.
And of varying different scams. I dealt with one not so long ago involving Green Dots, where a restaurant was called And the caller pretending to be Central Maine Power Company and saying, if you don't pay by 5 o'clock today, you're gonna shut your power off. And they just happened to get the hold of the owner's mother. She unknowingly went and got a green dot card and paid it out, and the only thing I had to follow up on was phone number. That went nowhere.
Again, share your experience with restitution in most of these cases.
Slim to none. Outside of this case we're talking about today, I've never gotten money back from a scammer.
Madam Chairman, no further questions.